Hey there, today I'm going to be showing you how to caulk and paint this 4x6 lean-to shed. And I'll be sharing with you some tips that even the shed builders skip out on. And most importantly, I'm going to show you exactly the tools and materials you need to paint the shed so you don't end up spending money on all those painting gadgets that's out there. Before you start caulking and painting the shed, make sure you get the trim completed and installed around the whole shed. Then you go around with the broom and sweep off any of the wood dust, spider webs, or debris that may collected on the shed walls. While you do that, check for any nail heads that may be in the way. A nail head can be painted, but if it sticks out too far, you may want to drive that all the way in. Next, it's time to caulk the shed. I start on one side and then I make my way around it. For the trims, I apply caulk slowly going down so I don't have to go back and run my fingers through it. Then I look for nail heads and any imperfections that are in the wall. There's not much to this. Go around the shed, make sure you hit all the trim work, all the nails, and any imperfection that you see on the walls. For now, I recommend you let the caulking dry for a few hours. Just make sure you follow the directions of the caulking you use. And once that's done, it's time to paint. And to paint this shed, we're gonna first paint the walls and then the trims. And to do that, you're gonna need some basic painting tools. So check your local hardware store or even Amazon. You're gonna find kits like these that has two different roller sizes and a brush. We're gonna use the 9-inch roller on the walls. The brush is gonna be used for touch-ups and rough surface, and then the smaller roller we're gonna use on the trim. The one additional item I recommend you purchase is a 3/4 inch nap. This is a perfect nap for rolling walls that are semi-rough like the T111 siding. I'm putting down some painter cloth on the ground just because it had rained earlier and I didn't want to make a mess. But this is the time for you to protect anything you don't want to get paint on. So grab a trash bag, put it over your plants, throw down some plastic or cardboard on the ground or sidewalks or anything you don't want to get paint on. Even though the T111 siding comes pre-primed from factory, I like to use a paint and primer. I had pretty good success using the Bare Ultra from Home Depot. When you choose your paint, just make sure that it is an exterior paint, and I recommend that you get a flat sheen. The 3/4 inch nap does a very good job on this type of surface. It even covers the vertical line on the siding with just a couple passes. And because this nap is so thick, I like to use it to paint the inside of the trims. But if you prefer, you can use a brush to cut the corners and then roll the walls. And if you purchase the GRK screws to build these sheds, you may have a nice portable paint pail. And this is where I use the brush the most. It is to paint tight areas like above the doors or the soffit, areas that a roller cannot get to. I also use the brush to cut in the door trim. Then I'll go back with the roller and paint the walls and inside the doors. For these walls, I chose the Tranquil Gray. It's a pretty neutral color for a shed and it does not stand out too much. Now it's time to paint the trim. And for me, this is the most satisfying part. It's actually when you see the final product coming together. I'm using a 6-inch roller that came with the kit. This roller comes with a 3/8 inch nap. This nap will do the job, but it's gonna require at least 2 coats. As far as trim color, I'm using the Bare White Frost. I don't recommend using anything too bright, otherwise that will show the imperfections of the material. You may choose to tape the hardware before you paint, or you can just carefully paint around it, and if you do get any paint on it, you can wipe it clean anytime. One area that many people missed, including professional shed builders, are inside of the doors and the door jambs. I do recommend that you paint this because most likely this will be exposed to the weather. That's why it's good to know these things, so when you build your shed, you build the right way and you build to last. And if you need help building your own shed, check the description below or visit us at everydayshed.com. It has build plans, a free material list, and a shopping cart ready for you to check out that has everything we used building the shed. In the inside of the door, you can paint either with a brush or a roller. Just make sure that you cover all the untreated wood. This is going to protect your shed for a long time. Now, if you have a paint sprayer or you'd like to rent one, this project it's going to go much smoother. However, you will use more paint than if you roll it. I did use 1 gallon of paint on the walls and about a quart of paint on the trims, and that's applying 2 coats of paint on the trims. So if you like this video and you want to watch the whole thing from beginning to end, from building the foundation, framing all the way to the roof, I'm gonna leave a video for you right here, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did building this shed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.